Yes, it's Bridget with Morning Soulshine. And guys, this is the finale of season 4. We started this season off in September, the last week of September. And guys, here we are, the week of Christmas, and we're winding it down. And so I want to say thank you so much. Thank you for making this season and this year so very special for me. God has been so amazing, and I've met so many people. And oh my gosh, and tonight is no different. And she is here with me, and her name is Mrs. Donna Butler. And guys, I am just so excited to have her with me to end this season with a bang. She and I
And
just said that we're going to end this with a bang. And oh my goodness, I'm just so honored. Thank you so much for being here with me.
oh, thank you. The honor is mine and my team because I see what you're doing. I see the morning sunshine. I see you. I listen to you in the morning. I follow some of the music you listen to. Very uplifting, inspiring. And we need that. As women and women of color, we don't get that enough in the morning and we don't get that in the afternoon. And sometimes we go to bed without getting it. And you bring it. You bring guests that are alive and you bring topics that are current. And that's what we need.
Well, I really appreciate you guys. And so I know you all have been watching the promos that we've been doing. And when I tell you she is first class and her book is first class, her movie is first class, and I'm just so proud of her. I'm so proud of her. And guys, Miss Donna Butler actually lives in the same town that I live in. How about that? So that, yeah, we live
Yes,
in Zachary,
we do.
Louisiana. And so I was in Winn-Dixie, and I was in Winn-Dixie shopping, and I seen her and her daughter, and I recognized them from a show I seen them on, and I was like, oh my gosh. And then I was trying to figure out, how do I approach her and ask her to be on Morning Sunshine? So guess what? I just took a chance.
And it
I
was
took
so
a
easy.
chance.
You made it so easy. Your spirit is so strong. You could feel it across the aisle. And
Oh,
when our eyes met and we started talking, there was no way. There was no way. I was honored that you said be on the show.
oh wow. And you and I was talking so much, and your daughter was like, come on, mom. She
Just to do
was
that,
like,
just
come
to do
on.
that quite a bit.
And so we're just so proud of you. We're so proud of
Thank
what
you.
you're doing. And as black women, and for you to give us this voice, this is such an important step that you have taken to just, help the African American community, not just women, but us as
Yeah,
a society, as a community. And so we're so proud of you, of what
thank
you're
you.
doing, and the things that you're wanting to accomplish.
Well, thank you. Following in the footsteps of some amazing Black women that have trailblazed it for me to even be able to sit here and talk about writing a book and directing a book. I'm looking at Viola Davis, Shonda Rhimes, you know,
Mhm.
Eva DuVernay, all these Black women. And if you go back to some of the actresses, Cicely Tyson,
Mhm.
all of these amazing actresses that have paved the way for me and my team just to kind of fill in just a little minute bit of what they've already done. That's the honor right there.
Oh my gosh, you mentioned those names, and I'm just so honored that you are part of that crew, of that group of women. And because you have, you have this wonderful, beautiful voice, and we need that. Our young women need to see, you know, someone like yourself pushing forward to make an impact on our community, our society, and our world. So thank you so much, Miss Donna Butler. Thank you.
Oh, you are so welcome. Thank you for all what you do. Like I said, you bring it, you connect us. You know, you connect us. You are the voice for people that don't always tune in to the news on television,
Mhm.
that, don't always look at that, to see you and to see you consistently. And I want to say that because that's important, to see you consistently, to see the things you post consistently. You know, we all have our moments and we all have times we probably wish we didn't even. I know I do. Sometimes I go, oh my gosh, you know, I have to make a post. I have to promote. I have to do this.
Mm-hmm.
You do it with consistency. And believe it or not, behind the scenes, whatever might be going on in your world,
Yeah.
we don't see that. And I love that. And you're smiling and sunshiny right now. And you were that way when I saw you. That's so
Oh,
important to be that way,
well, thank
especially
you
in this
so much.
dark world right now.
Thank you so much. And I could tell you it's God.
It is a
It's
hundred
God.
percent.
It's
I
God.
know, honey. It's divine intervention
It's divine
every
intervention.
single day.
And you know, that brings us to that wonderful book of yours, Divine Intervention. Oh, look, she has it with her. Oh my goodness.
I carry it with me. I keep a copy with me because it reminds me.
Oh
It
my goodness.
reminds me.
So, you know what? Let's start off. Let's go with the first question I had for you.
Okay.
So, when did you decide that you wanted to become a writer? When did this?
I decided when I was 8 years old and wrote on the tablecloth. I wrote on the tablecloth at 8 years old, and I wrote a story about a little boy. And I wrote it on the corner of my mom's yellow linen tablecloth. And it was, I got in trouble. I did. It was a good, and it was so funny because it was right before the Thanksgiving holiday. And so I was sitting at the table and I wrote the story. And I've always loved to write. I've always loved to read. She would take the light bulbs out of the lamp because I would read late at night. And she'd say, well, I wear glasses now. And that's why it's going to hurt your eyes. You're going to do this. But I have developed a love of reading. And writing helped me escape a hard time in my life. You would think at 8 years old, what you are escaping? Well, we had a traumatic life change. My father separated from my mother. And so I was much younger than 8, but at 8, that's when your eyes are open, I think.
Yeah.
Your eyes are open to your surroundings. Your eyes are open to other kids have fathers. Other kids, you know, have this. Your eyes are open. And so I use my imagination to have to not answer some of the questions that people that grew up in our neighborhood saw my father gone. So I began to be creative at a very early age. And I used to sell little stories to my classmates for like 10 cents, you know, and they would ask me that. And so it's always been there. That's been the divine intervention, the first divine intervention in my life. Was given
Wow.
talent.
That's an amazing story. So you took a situation that was very difficult, very traumatic for you,
Yes.
and God gave you writing to express yourself. That is amazing. That's amazing.
And as soon as I could write my feelings, I got my first journal when I was 15. My mom gave me a journal, and I've been journal writing ever since. I'm 63 and I still journal write.
So do you keep all your journals like
I
in a
do.
special place?
I do. I have them named for some of my children that should
Oh,
I go before them, they have a book. They have a
okay.
journal that's for them. My husband knows. There's a couple friends
Hmm.
that years of my life I would like them to know, and so I do my best to keep them in bound books. It's so easy to put them on your phone now because of that. But I like to write, and I
Mm,
want them to have my writing.
that's amazing. And that's beautiful. That is something that, maybe we all should do to have a
I always tell
legacy.
people, I
Yeah.
always tell people to start the new year with a journal, to get, even if it's just a spiral notebook,
Hmm.
and just challenge yourself to write in it before you go to bed. If it's one line, how you felt. And you'll watch when you go back and look 4 weeks from the day you started writing, you'll be surprised what you write, how you
That
feel.
that's a really good idea. And I'm sure times in your life when you were writing your journals, you didn't realize that it was going to lead you to where you are today, right?
Never in a million years did I think that. When I look at some of the journals and I read some of that woman or that girl,
Hmm.
I don't see a hint. Not one. I'm honest. I don't see one hint of who is sitting here right now. It's sometimes very hard to see that this is who I am, because if you go back even 10 years, you'll be like, that's actually one of my journals called A Rebellious Soul as mine, because even in my later stages, I was still bucking the system, kicking against the prick. So,
And that's just who you are. That's who
that's who
you
I
are. And that's what makes you so special, and your writing. So
am.
tell us a little bit about divine intervention. We don't want to give too much away because we want people to get the book
Yes.
and read it. So tell us a little bit about it.
Well, a little bit about divine intervention is, I always tell people, use your imagination.
Okay.
Imagine two slaves from 1836 transported to a Black college campus in 2020. So I tell you to use your imagination, and the first thing people go is, oh, this sounds like this. Oh, this sounds like that. No, I really want you to think of what I said, 1836 to 2020. And so how do you explain that? How do you help someone? If sitting next to me right now, I pulled someone with a collar and chain and introduced you to this person and said, I woke up and he was in my yard. He's real. What do we do? What would you say? How would you talk to him? I know. How would you communicate? And Alma is his name. He is a field slave. He has been beaten. He has been in chains since he was a kid. He watched his mother hung. And then on the other hand is Rosette. She is mulatto. And people hate when I say that. They go, oh, don't use the word mulatto. It's offensive. She's mulatto. She's back in 1836. That's what she would have been called. She's fair skinned, almost white. And she is a house nigger. She works in the house. So you have these two spectrums. You have this girl who has lived in the big house, but she's still a slave. And you have a slave actual in the field. That's all he's known. So these two are in a situation where they get a chance to run for freedom. And in the act of running for freedom, they collide into each other. And that collide through a power I'm not telling, get the book, brings them to 2020 and right into the lap of the African American history professor who doesn't know what to do with them.
Oh my gosh. When you ask that question, what would we say to him?
Yeah.
I think I would cry. I don't think I would have any words, because just remembering that history
Yes.
and to actually see a person from that time, I wouldn't have words. I would just cry.
Yes. And one of our characters doesn't have the words. He's a strong male character, and it brings him to tears because of the very fact, you just said it, Bridget, the very fact that there's a piece of history, a beaten piece of history that, yes, we see it in the books. Will Smith is doing Emancipation that talks about whipping Pete. We see that in the books, but imagine touching him today. Imagine that. Imagine talking to her as a Black woman. Her biggest thing is when she comes to 2020, she sees people that looks like her everywhere. Black and white are holding hands. All of this is going on back then. Oh my gosh. And for him, imagine what he's seeing in the Black man. And I say this honestly because he's a strong Black man, having been beaten, having been treated like a pig. He doesn't even know how to hold a fork properly. But imagine when he's amongst and sees for the first time on television what we as Black people and Black men are doing to each other. We're killing each other. Imagine when he sees the two Black men say, hey, my nigga. And I say that because that's something that's been used before he gets beaten. That's something before he gets spit on. That's a name. That's not even his real name. That's what he's been called. Boy, nigger, all that. But he sees us slap each other's back and say that. He sees us with the black man with his pants down, and he couldn't have a belt. The chains that they wear compared to the chains that he wore. So he has a difficult time. And then to see some flashbacks, and then to see Barack Obama, he sees him behind the seal, and to see that he walks up to the television and he puts his hand on the screen, because that's as close, as he can come to something to admire that he's seen on TV, all the beating and the news. He's channel surfing, and everything seems to be pretty dismal for what he's come from. And he even questions that throughout in the series. I'm still a slave here. And so I think that's a message we want people to see. We want people to remember. It doesn't stay in 1836 forever, because we come here. We want them to adapt here. We want us to look at ourselves and think about that. And for her, the same thing. For her, just to have someone touch her, that's hard. Because she hasn't been, when she's saved to be touched, if her owner decides he wants to give her to somebody, they'll pay to set her up somewhere. But here she's free. And one of the things that changes for her is the way she looks at herself as a female.
Yeah.
The long hair she has, that in 1836 was just her crowning glory. We're sewing it in our hair. We're sewing it in our hair. And I'm guilty, but it's something that we need to see,
Definitely.
To her, it's all amazement to her that women do some of the things that she wants to take her hair off, because it's been such a part of her life. And that's going to be something that audiences will see, because that's shedding part that she wants to be rid of. How many things in your life would you like to get rid of that are addictive, that are binding?
Oh, yeah.
That is the whole thing too. Slavery is more than the chains Alan has. Slavery, the other characters will find out that they're in bondage in ways that they had no idea until this portal is open.
Wow. This is, when you're talking about it, it's just making me think about how we take for granted all the, the privileges that we have, and how our ancestors, how they were beaten and made to feel like animals. And we have just put all of that aside and just continue to live in bondage.
Yes. And we hold on to so many things. And that's another message that we want to send. The two colleges, or two rival colleges, and one is a traditional college. And when I say traditional, all white, traditional. The black college where they land they're based on legacy. So you have two men chancellors, a black man and a white man, and they're both fighting for what they believe in, tradition and legacy. And they have a collide in their relationships, because somebody has to give. And that's just like us in life now. Somebody has to give. We can say, I'm strong, I never back down, but somebody has to give. And so these two men are constantly not wanting to budge. And so these slaves, when this portal is opened, some of the things that they believed on and held on to for legacy, or held on for tradition, all that's going to be debunked. Because yes, I believe in tradition. I have traditions every holiday season. I have traditions. But also, if those traditions don't suit anymore, like as my children get older, as we get older, there's some of those traditions that go away. So just like with racism, just like with some of those things, we can blame our ancestors all we want. Oh, my grandmother was prejudiced, and that's the way I heard her talk, and that's the way he talked, and that's one of us, we have to give in.
We do.
When are we going to give in?
Oh, wow. Y'all, we got to get this book. Got to get the book. Okay,
Get the book
so
and learn about it because we're shooting, we're shooting
now
the
you're
series.
saying you said that this is a series, right? So
Yes,
you've released one book of the series?
yes.
Okay.
Our second book won't come out until after our first episode. And
Okay.
so that's part of what I want people to realize is that when I wrote the book, it wasn't that I intended to get it to the screen.
Okay. That was my next question.
Oh, well,
I,
good. See, I
yep.
wasn't intending to get it to the screen. I
Yeah, I was
wasn't.
wondering, did you write the book in with the intentions of taking it
uh,
to the screen?
Not at first. I wrote it just to do 5 books. The goal was to do 5 books and
Okay.
then try to go to the screen. But when we wrote the first book, I realized I said I'm 60. I was 62 then.
Hmm.
And I said, if I'm gonna see this on the screen
Hmm.
and be able to move behind the camera because I wanted to direct, move behind the camera, be a part of casting, be a part of all that, I need to do it now. I need to do it while I have
Yeah.
connections now, while I'm old, while I'm young enough, not old enough,
Yeah.
young enough to still do some of these things. So we just said, let's hold the book for a minute, book 2, keep book 1, and let's see what happens if we try to shoot it.
Wow. When we look at the promos, the trailer, oh my gosh, it's so amazing. So how did you get your cast and your crew and how did you get all
So
these
I'm gonna
wonderful
show you
people?
how I got it. I'm
Okay.
gonna show you. Come on, Wildman. I'm gonna show you how I got my cast. You want to see how I got my cast? Look at here.
Yes.
Ooh, look at red.
Hi.
Hi. How are
How are
you?
you?
Can you
I'm
see us?
great.
Can you see
Yes,
us?
I see both. Oh, look, I see her. She's beautiful. That's your daughter. Yeah. Hi.
Wow. This is
How are you?
Ariel. This is Tasha. And
Hi,
this is
Aria and
how
Tasha.
Hi. Oh.
you asked. Yeah. Did you hear that? That's a
I heard it.
choir there. That's a divine choir, girl. No, that's how we did it. You want to know how? This is how. I took 2 people that love me dearly, and I said, I want to turn this into a movie. And I mean just like that. They said, let's do it.
Wow.
Let's go. And so we started. And
So how do you even
casting,
begin? How do you begin? Do you like have like produce or so you produced it yourself?
we had 2 people, and we're being transparent. We started off with 2 investors,
Mm-hmm.
and they pulled out at the end of filming.
Oh wow.
So what you see now is independent, for real deal, independent. You said executive producers right here. When I say executive producers, what they do is they go and use their own money
Wow.
and pay for things. We hold fundraisers to pay our actors. We're cooking tomorrow to pay our actors because sometimes when in this business, people pull out. Sometimes people in this business want more than what they think they should get.
Mm-hmm.
And so honestly, it's hard. It's hard. I'm going to
Mm-hmm.
speak for both my whole team. It's very difficult. But when you know what you have and you know the type of team you have
Mm-hmm.
and the product that you have, you don't stop.
Yeah, you
You
can.
don't stop.
Yeah.
So I
Wow.
wouldn't be where I am. We have a triangle, and they hold me up more times than I would like to say. They're holding me up right now because we had a little shakeup prior to coming on the air, and I'm telling you, they're holding me up right now.
Well, you know what? We really appreciate you both being here with me and Miss Donna. So, Miss Donna, if anyone wanted to invest in what you're doing, because it's so important as a legacy as our history, how can they get in contact with you to do that?
This right here, this beautiful creature handles all of that. So why don't you take over and tell?
Please call 225-268-4713.
4713. Okay. Well, we're gonna make sure we put all that information out, so that way if anyone, because once you look at those promos, that's first class stuff. That is really good work. That
We
is
have an
really good
amazing
work.
crew behind us. What our goal is to try to keep everything here in Louisiana,
Mhm.
because there's so much talent. You look at you. You think I'm not going to peg you? You think I'm not going to peg you? The whole time I'm looking at people, always look at where can I fit them. You know, I have 5 seasons to cover, and so I want to do it here. There's been movies shot here. There's been a lot of things that have come from here. We've got some great groups and rappers and people that have come from here, but a series here has not been done.
Really?
A series involving Louisiana. I want the food done here.
Mm-hmm.
I want people that have talents, Bridget, that we don't even get to see. Oh my gosh. The gentleman that plays Alma, he's a newcomer to the screen.
Wow.
And so that's what we want to do. We want to showcase Louisiana, and we want to put a series here that's going to bring more here. They call us Hollywood South, but I'm going to say this. Us, no, we're not a part of that exclusive club. So what we need to do is make our own club.
Good, good. So your talent that you're finding, are you finding them at the colleges, or how are you finding talent?
Well, we do a casting call. Sometimes we could walk in somewhere and be like, oh my gosh.
Yes.
Really?
Audition for us. We hold a casting call, they audition. So we find them in various places. Sometimes they come to us, and sometimes we just run into them.
And we do put up the regular notice, and we say what we're looking for, and then we look. Because if you say what you're looking for, I'm going to be honest, 7 times out of 10, you're not going to find it when you put it up there like that.
Okay.
Because when I put the description up, I got everything at first, but
right. And our people that tried out, they're not just from here, they're from all over.
Right.
Okay.
You know, they're from California, Baton Rouge, Texas, you know, so that's
they were
something
everywhere
that we were surprised about as well, you know.
Yeah, that there were people from all over the place. Wisconsin, people, when we put that casting call up, they were coming from everywhere. Yes. But then when you see the one and you know, I mean, I promise you, as a director, and when I see certain people, I just know, and my mind jumps well ahead, and I'm already writing for that person. Wow. I'm already writing, and I've already injected them into the story. And that's what makes it so interesting, because we found our Rosette. She stumbled on us, and she has no acting skills as well. She's a model. And she stumbled on us, and she looked exactly like the picture.
And she's amazing.
And she's totally amazing. And they're very believable. And I think that is because of who they are, because she is mixed race, and because she has dealt with people, you know, coming at her because she's light, you know, she's had that. One of our characters is a Black French girl, but she is very light. And when she answered for another role, and I wrote the role for her after I met her, because I mean, I couldn't let her go. Her talent, she had the French Creole look, and she had the same thing, had been discriminated against. And so these people again, divine intervention.
Well, we're so very, very proud of all 3 of you ladies. And oh my gosh. So you were saying in your press release that you and your daughter, beautiful daughter, was walking on the levee and decided to write this movie. So how did that happen? I mean, y'all just were talking, or
you want to tell it? We spent a lot of time on the levee. Ariel has been back and forth through a lot of things in her life, and we spent a lot of time on the levee. This one particular time we were on the levee, she had a turban on. She had a colorful turban on, and she walked a little in front of me, and in the distance was the steamboat. And don't ask me why it was here. I don't know what tour was going on, but it was just like this setting. And then she turned around and she looked at me and I said, you would not be here if you looked like this in 1836. I said, you would be in the house. You would not be like what we were seeing, the other Black people. You would be in the house if you were in 1836. And she looked at me and I said, I wouldn't be. I wouldn't. I said, I would probably be in the garden. I probably would be doing something else, but you would be in the house. And then I stopped, and God is our witness. We stopped right there. And I sat on the bench and I took my cell phone and I wrote, what would happen if you transported, and I only had one person first, just her. I was writing it on her. And then I put him in. And right then, by that night, I had over 60 pages.
Wow.
Written on, and it was based on my daughter at first. And then we began to develop Alma and Rosette. And it was hard to let her go as that character. It was very difficult to let her go as that character.
Oh,
so,
divine
because there's so much of her
intervention.
inside of it.
Yes, I'm sure.
It's our truth.
I'm sure.
It's our truth.
Well, I'm just so proud of you, and I'm so proud to know you all three of you guys. And please invite me next time you do any filming, because I want to see.
Yeah.
Oh, not only are you think I'm kidding. Not only are we going to invite you, I promise you, you'll be in Divine. you will have a role. You will have a guest role in Divine somewhere. You fit the bill.
Yeah,
so that would be wonderful. I would love that.
I know we would love it too. Yes, so don't worry, you're VIP, babe.
Yeah.
Oh.
VIP, yes. And we're gonna get a shirt to you too. Tasha's wearing one of our shirts.
Oh, cool. So do y'all sell those online?
No, we actually we don't yet. These are our crew shirts.
Okay.
And so we're gonna get a crew shirt to you. We have not, our cast, they have asked and asked and asked, and we see people that see us on the street and they go, oh, I like one of those. So hopefully we're going to get there. We're going to get some merchandise. We want to do things like that.
We need to get some investors. We need to get some
investors. That's what we need. When you say that, that's what you say, what you need. When people ask us what we need, not only do we need the prayers and that type of support, but we need the type of support that people would give Tyler Perry. Okay. We need the type of support that someone would give, Master P or somebody like that. You buy their stuff. Come on, buy the book. If you know someone that's investing, if you're an actress, if you're an actor, if you do music, if you have locations, this is all the things we need. Yeah. This is what make it a success.
Yeah, and they volunteer their time, where you guys wouldn't have to pay if, the actors and the actresses, if they just want to, come out and support you that way. And that way, that'll be a blessing.
We get along in the season. We transport to another, I'll tell you, we go to Africa. We have some amazing things in Africa, and we're going to need people. We have a college campus. We're going to need background people. We're going to need.
What part of Africa are y'all going to shoot in?
Oh, we're physically, we're not going yet.
Oh, y'all not going to go.
Hopefully we will. But our storyline takes us there.
Let me know, because I know a lot of people in different parts of Africa.
Oh my God.
So let me know. We can connect with people.
Yeah.
Oh, I love that. Yes, because we want to do that, because again, like I said, it's more than just talking about slavery. Mm-hmm. It's more that I want to debunk myths of what it's like to be in Africa. People think they're running around chucking spears and stuff everywhere. I want people to see a different side of Africa. I want people to know.
Oh, that would be great. Yeah.
Yeah, be proud of your legacy. Mm-hmm. Yes, you may have come from a slave. Be proud of that slave that took that beating, that took that abuse, just so we could sit just like this.
Right. Amen.
We have to be proud of our legacy.
Well, thank you, ladies, for being here with me tonight on my season finale, for making it so special. That's and exciting. We are just praying for you guys, and we just going to send love and and prayers to you that you continue to do well. And so God bless you.
God bless
Thank
you.
you
so
And thank you.
much.
So we love you so much.
Yes.
Love you too.
So beautiful.
Thank you.
Thank
Okay,
you.
bye-bye, beautiful.
Bye-bye.
Bye-bye. And we're going to